What's up with the squad? Back with another video. I seen that's how it's going out. Make sure you hit the like button, hit that subscribe button for me, please. Y'all see in the title. Definitely, you know, it's been some things going on, you know, within ICE. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, there's things that I truly support and that I'm gonna talk about, you know, because I feel like it's definitely important to talk about these things and to know how important it is, you know, to actually support, you know, what's going on. It's definitely important to support, you know, what's going on. Most of y'all know, but there's a lot of people that don't within my channel. The view here talks about Tom Homan on the lack of ICE body cameras. Let's check it out.
In the wake of two fatal ICE shootings at traffic stops in Maine and Texas, there's been a temporary halt on ICE stopping vehicles. CNN's Caitlin Collins grilled border czar Tom Homan,
Don't even know his name. Don't even know his name. You're a host of a show on ABC that people watch and don't even know his name.
About the lack of body camera footage in both incidents. Here's what he said.
Why were the ICE agents not wearing body cameras in Houston or in Maine during these two incidents?
You know, when the Democrats shut down the Department of Homeland Security, I was up on the Hill as part of the negotiating team to reopen the government, and they wanted body cameras. There was $120 million in the budget they were holding up to buy those body cameras. Now, since the big, beautiful bill passed, now the reconciliation bill, the body cameras have been ordered.
But don't you see that to be extremely urgent, given right now
it is urgent.
We do not have video of these situations beyond witnesses?
As soon as they had funding, they bought them. If the Democrats...
But it's been 2 months since April.
Would have been a lot quicker.
You know, at some point, you're going to have to take responsibility for not being able to do your job.
Y'all know what's funny about this whole thing, though? And I call it out both ways all the time. My thing is, within a lot that people continue to talk about and complain about, you know, you have so many people complaining about things, you know, and seeing on how bad things are. And then you can go a lot of ways with this. I have a lot of arguments within this. You first of all, you don't have a lot of these individuals asking these questions, they're saying these things, doing this, doing it, you know, when it came down to the last administration on what they did. You know, or in general. They wait for Trump to get in office and they try to bash him on things that happen. Not to mention seeing the things that these individuals, you know, do, how they react and what they do, you know, and that's why it's always important, whether if it's ICE, whether it's police, whether it's anybody that, you know, in that law enforcement that you can apply, you know, because obviously if you're illegal and everything looks good, then you have nothing to worry about.
Can't keep putting it on the Democrats. You're doing a bad job, Tom. You should be doing a better job. You said you were going to do a better job.
But had nothing to say when he was working up under Obama.
You've been able to get, we
Pretty
put
well.
so much money into ICE. You can get I could have bought you a camera in all of this time.
They got $20 million.
They got $20 million.
Well,
What
ICE
the
and
hell?
CBP actually were the only departments funded through those shutdowns.
Yes.
So that's actually not even true.
Yes. You know, but they stand and lie like we're stupid. We know better. We know that we funded you. We know that you got the money. Where are the cameras, man?
You know, I'd like to give a shout out to that Caitlin Collins. That girl is brave.
Yeah.
She goes up against Trump. He calls her all kinds of names, and she just comes
She's
right
horrible.
back.
Because that's her job. Her job is not to respond to him. Her job is to get him to tell us what's going on. And she knows that there's nothing he can say to her that is going to throw her, make her start to cry.
I know.
I mean,
but Trump intimidates his own Congress. The Republicans in Congress are intimidated by him, and she's not.
Well, this is a dude thing. This is a man thing, I feel. Because, you know, you say to these guys, this is what happens if you do X, Y, Z. They do it anyway. It's like when you say to a man, just ask for directions. And then the guy doesn't ask for directions, and he's mad
that he got lost.
Well, and Tom Homan had also said they were going to increase the training again, because that was a criticism we've had. They cut it in half. And the agent involved in the Maine shooting was a new recruit being pulled out. And then you also have the lack of body cameras in Maine and Texas. enough is enough. They don't even have a good track record. 2 out of these 3 people we're talking about were not even the targets they were going after. So they're not good at their jobs. They're not getting violent criminals. They're not following what they said they'd do.
I'm going to tell y'all right now, they are getting a lot of violent criminals. We're talking about, and y'all see I've posted videos of even Tom Homan. Not Tom Homan, Tim Walz. 2 different people. Tim Walz, that truly cared so much about a violent individual and didn't want him to. As a matter of fact, I ain't even about to say didn't want him. I'm going to go as far as to say they gave him 30 years of probation. You know, and then tried to pardon him as well as Keith Ellison, and he ended up getting deported. They are for sure getting violent criminals. I feel like a lot of people definitely get in the way of, you know, a lot of these investigations, a lot of the things that's going on with them getting the right individuals. Like I said, I truly support ICE. I would want, regardless of them to do their job, obviously the correct way, just like any other, you know, individual with any job that they have, you know, because it definitely is important. I'm going to look at the simple fact that just like police officers, you're going to have police officers that react in situations that's bad. You're going to have police officers that react to situations that's good, you know, and actually doing their job. Everybody isn't perfect within their doing. These ladies haven't been in any type of law enforcement, so they truly don't know. Me personally, I have uncles that's in law enforcement. My dad's been a police officer for 28 years, as well as, you know, just me being in a police academy, you know, for a while. Not now. I told y'all I'm gonna eventually give y'all story time on that, why I left the police academy. But, you know, it's definitely important. You know, it's definitely important, especially with getting all all of the facts there as well. It's definitely important within that. But I definitely look at the simple fact that one of the things, you know, just being honest and being real, is that regardless of what they're talking about, they look at the simple fact that because it's President Trump, they're going to hate every single thing that, you know, he does.
They have to dial it back.
Well, and there started being outrage from all quarters of Capitol Hill because there's now 2 people dead because of these shootings that take place at traffic stops. So DHS announced this pause on traffic interdictions, but then the president posted that they're reversing that and they're going to continue enforcement at traffic stops, which is just asking for another tragedy and another
and another thing, if you look at DOJ's policy
interdictions, but then the president posted that they're reversing that and they're going to continue enforcement at traffic stops, which is just asking for another tragedy and another tragedy.
It's not asking for another tragedy. Like I said, if people comply, people do what they need to do as far as when it gets when you're getting pulled over, when you're in a traffic stop. I look at the simple fact that you have so many people that protest violently. Those individuals need to really stay in a lane. I feel like it'd definitely be very smooth if people let ICE and let law enforcement do their jobs. Let them do their jobs. I feel like it'll definitely help out a lot within that. And I feel like so many people aren't getting that at all. I truly believe that people need so much to pay attention, you know, at the importance of having, you know, ICE, like I said, as well as, you know, I always say, getting pulled over. You truly, for your safety and for their safety, it should be that way. You know, shouldn't be any type of aggression, you know, when it comes down from both parties. I can agree with that. And not saying that it was, but I truly feel as if it's definitely important. It's definitely important for people to calm down. And if you are illegal and you aren't supposed to be here, or you're that target, anything like that, then that's just the consequences that you have to face. Is people, you know, the outside of that, people got to stay in their lane.
And another thing, if you look at DOJ's policy, use of force policy, the Department of Justice's own policy prevents officers from shooting at moving vehicles to stop people. It it certainly is a law enforcement. The Department of Justice's own policy prevents officers from shooting at moving vehicles to stop people. It certainly is a law enforcement. When there's a police officer, you're not supposed to do it. But the Department of Justice's own policies require them not to behave in the way that they are behaving. They require them not to police in the way that they are policing. It is wrong. It stinks from the very, very top.
Yes,
and
this
I
is
can't
on them.
believe this is still happening.
This is on them. You cannot put this in the hands of Democrats. This is on you.
Oh.
Definitely on the left that is has all of this going on. Let me tell y'all something. When it comes down to it, regardless of how anybody feels, I'm gonna tell y'all one thing. If your life or they feel their life is in danger, I don't know why like people keep saying this and like bringing up, this whole car situation. I'm gonna be 100% honest with y'all. If you like being in law enforcement, and especially within 2026, and this, I'm not using an excuse, I'm just being realistic. People gotta think, y'all. Like, people truly have to think about this. People gotta look at the simple fact on how that a moving vehicle is definitely something that could be, it's dangerous. That's life-threatening. That's something that could potentially hurt you really bad. And that's what people like. Okay. Let me make it simpler. Why are they defending illegal aliens so much? There's so many things that's going on. They might as well be as worse as the criminals that they're supporting and defending. Truly, because there's no way in hell, bro. There's just truly no way that you sit there and defend individuals. First of all, you already consider, that is a crime, being illegal and this, that, and the other. It truly is. Not to mention, people already adding fuel to the fire with doing things, that is truly horrible and truly sickening. Like, people aren't getting that. I truly don't understand it. Me personally, I'm definitely, and I told y'all yesterday, I look at the simple fact that it's time to clean house because it's definitely important for that. But I don't know. Y'all let me know in the comments down below what y'all think. Definitely hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Catch y'all next one.